everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Falcons going up against the Raiders. A lot of uncertainty about the future home of the Raiders, but for today, their home is still Oakland, California. And that's where we'll find our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their enigmatic quarterback, the Heisman winner from Baylor. It's Robert Griffin III.
I think sometimes when you've had some rocky days as a starting quarterback in the NFL, people start to focus in on what you can't do or what they perceive you can't do. For Robert Griffin III, I say you remember what he can do and utilize those skills and strengths. I think you've got a legit starting quarterback in the NFL again.
And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 3 yards remaining here on second down. This is kind of what the fans have wanted to see, is the mobility of RG3 still there.
Not just the fans, but the teams that he's played on, because I think the mobility has been there even after the first knee injury. But I don't think he was as willing to use it. I think he wanted to become much more of a pocket presence. But that mobility, that helps him as a quarterback.
To throw is RG3, buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Fresh set of downs here. And still for me, with the injuries, every time he carries that football, you just kind of hold your breath, don't you?
You have to, because you noted it. The injuries in the past have derailed his career up until this point. Now we're seeing some more evidence of him using his legs again, but he does have to be careful. They need him out on the field.
Yeah, RG3, you got to have him out there, so explosive. And Mr. Cooper Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
Now they'll throw it with Griffin. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Okay, Charles, defensive starter time for the Atlanta Falcons.
And let's spotlight Keanu Neal, the safety out of Florida. So big, so athletic. Many thought they might make him an outside linebacker, but I think they're going to use him as a hybrid outside linebacker, strong safety, kind of in the Cam Chancellor mode in Seattle.
Griffin. Cooper's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be design runs as well as his scrambles.
Caught left side to Crabtree. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. So now on 4th down, the Raiders will turn it over to the left foot of Sebastian Janikowski. From the left hash, this from 39. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball. Put points on the board first and let everyone start to celebrate.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, and as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by a man in his 9th year already out of Boston College. It's Matt Ryan.
And there's no way that Matt Ryan is ultimately happy about what happened in 2015. His lowest touchdown total since his rookie season. He's rededicated and looking for a bounce-back season.
Now Ryan on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The first-time All-Pro in 2015, Khalil Mack. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal. And the Pigs get it to 7-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So out come the Raiders. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Now Ryan. He's got the NFL's leading receiver a year ago, Julio Jones. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Shift together here from the D-line. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now it's Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ryan, deep drop. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down, being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to...
There he goes left side. The 40. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 73 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Escaping the pressure right. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
One of the key aspects of Robert Griffin III's game coming out of college and his rookie year in the NFL, his legs. Maybe he's got him back and has some confidence again after his knee injury.
Yeah, looked back a little circle. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. seen him be a little fumble-prone in the past, and he was fumble-prone there.
Yeah, 2015, what did he have, 12
A dozen.
fumbles?
Yeah, he had a dozen.
I think he's like second in the league, and that's not a stat you usually associate with Matt Ryan. He usually does a really nice job.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence.
And now the rookie's free. He's at the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and a nap. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Here's Ryan. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
It's caught over the middle. Hooper. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So they get the 3 points. They're on the board, but it took them 3 trips to the red zone just to get 1 field goal.
So on the defensive side of the ball, you feel great about yourselves. Guess what? 3 times and you only came out with 3 points. But on the offensive side, you have to finally feel a little bit of relief that you got some points on the board.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Ready. 3-19.
On 1st down, Griffin out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now Griffin on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Late in the first quarter, Freeman's going to cough up the football here, and the pass and catch will end up going for 81 yards. offense on the field now after the fumble. Cook found on the quick pass. And this play will go for 6. Raiders push the lead to 10. Now to early in the second. The blocking here will free up the run. He'd end up running for a monster gain of 73 yards before finally being stopped. Raiders have it later on the drive. Run play coming up here, and he'll go in for the score. The Raiders now up by 17. Falcons with the ball midway through the second. On the run, the ball comes loose. He'd end up running for a huge gain of 77 yards on this run. Now looking to take advantage after the turnover. Ball's going to be up for grabs here. Now 1st and 10, Griffin's going to complete the pass from the gun. And the pass and catch will end up going for 21 yards. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Oakland for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And marching back out there now, the Raiders defense gets ready. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So that's their 3rd trip to the red zone, but all they have to show so far is 2 field goals.
Tough sledding in this game for the offense. They get to the red zone. Normally you count on a minimum of 3 points in each red zone trip. Not so far in this game.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Hard to believe this guy was watching us from his living room last week. Now he's under center here for an NFL team.
And not many teams were in the market to sign him, but you have to believe that this team felt like we saw something previously in this guy, and now he has a chance to prove it with us.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Griffin. It finds Crabtree for the completion. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. And complete right side to Cook. They find some open field here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jared Cook with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Janikowski on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. 23 yards on the play.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. They toss to Freeman. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And an encroachment penalty here will cost them 5 yards.
And it makes it so simple, doesn't it? An easy free 5 yards for the offense given to them by the defense.
Still first down.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a little jumpy there defensively. Ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Throwing now. Ryan on first down. Sanu with a grab over the middle.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
Encroachment, defense. Still second down.
Second down, the ball on the 2 here, second and goal. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Griffin on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And that is Allen, still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From midfield now, here's Ryan. He's got time. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Falcons set to get things rolling on defense again here. And not a good performance by them or by their offense, for that matter. It just hasn't been a good game.
And it's real easy at this point to point fingers. Hey, you guys didn't get a whole lot done today. Didn't give us much of a cushion. But the truth of the matter is, having played defense, your pride says whatever your offense gives you, you're supposed to allow 1 point less. So they're going to feel like they let them down as well.
Yeah, I guess fingers could be pointed on both sides. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Oakland, it's It's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long.